Hello, fellow administrators. Welcome to one more guide. This time, we'll be talking about Brahma, currently the best multi-role unit of Wind Element. As the prime modifier of Stars faction, Brahma is the representation of the god Brahma from Hinduism, who is one of the three supreme deities, alongside Vishnu and Shiva. In Aether Codes lore, she's the head of Meruism, a group mainly composed of her, Kali and Parvati. Despite looking as a young lady, Brahma can change her appearance and is often said that she's nearly omnipotent. Now, let's work. Starting through Brahma's Aether Codes, only two options are the best to use depending on which role you plan to play with her. Yellow Code is not one of these options. Despite sounding good because of helping units who can work with Savage Warp in Line 2, the amount of damage buff given by Line 3 is not worth when you take how Lines 1 and 2 works. Red Code is for a universal support Brahma, and you can use a variety of sigils for her as support if you never plan to use her as a damage dealer. Since she can heal, she can give invincibility and multiple other effects. Blue Code is for C-DPS role. She'll be your carry in Wind Element. As long as you understand her rotation, even at base S rank, you can clear Iteration Check 8 without issues. When talking about her Sig key, I personally consider it a priority because of the multiple effects given over her kit, and as well, over her Aether Codes, especially the one who deals full damage towards the enemy's health bar. However, if you can't afford her Sig key, you can safely use the 5-star Gen key of Stars faction. In Sigils, most of my recommendations are towards the use of Brahma as a damage dealer. Flower is only a recommendation if you don't have Parvati or plan to use Brahma solo, while Snow is the best in slot for Brahma. When talking about her Red Code build, you can still use Snow and Truth in case you're short of resources, or if you're using Brahma with Parvati. You can also consider to replace Truth for Creed, since Brahma can easily trigger its effect. However, if you want different builds that can work properly as a C-SUP role in other teams, no worries. There's 3 builds you can consider: Wind, All Healing, and Universal Ult. When we talk about warps, Brahma thankfully has a huge variety of choices that can work, but the proper choices will change according to the amount of investment made on her, team composition, builds, and so on. In case you're lost and doesn't know what to do, let's start with something simple, such as ignoring the existence of Unfetter and Divine Sense. If you want, you may ignore what I'm saying and try for yourself, but my suggestion is because you'll need to do the whole sequence of Brahma to get all stacks. Blue Code, Line 3. Brahma can fast charge her own ULT whenever she casts her dodge effect, which means that Unfetter is really useless. The same can be said about Red Code. Her hits are linked to her animations and will implement both debuffs and buffs. In case you're still unsure, no worries. I picked some basic suggestions and implemented over Team's topic. In case you plan to use Brahma under AI control, go to Team's topic, but remember to avoid using the Shockwave chip, because Brahma will cast her ult regardless of active enemies in the field. Now, for those who want to manually play as her, pay attention to the explanation. Many players ends up ignoring important points that are related to Brahma's combo structure and can help the player have a complete different experience in battles and challenges. For now, let's take a look at Brahma's core combo. You need to observe 3 important points when playing as Brahma, which are rotation, teams, and enemy's health bar. When we talk about rotation, it's simply that can't stop it even if you'll take damage while doing it. Otherwise, it'll break the sequence and impair Brahma's performance. You can consider positioning Brahma behind enemies to avoid taking damage as much as possible to not reduce the damage buff from the Warp EM flux. The core combo is mainly used with Blue Code, but it's nearly the same combo for other codes, excluding the unique effect applied by Blue Code Line 3 over Skill 3 in Destruction mode. Whenever you complete the specific part of the rotation, either in creation or destruction, always cast your ult to avoid spending time. Among the two, destruction deals more damage than creation, but the main source of her damage in blue code comes from when you keep casting her ultimate and activate the stacks for the extra independent damage provided in line 3. Other two important points of Brahma are team and enemy's health bar. In teams, you must give unnecessary attention to Brahma's dodge effect and hold its cast in case you're using Brahma with units capable to fast charge their ults. As you can see below, I balanced and compared Lin Yu and Liang to use them as demonstration. Liang cheated in the process, but it made easier to see how you end up spending more than 30% of ult charge for no reason. Whenever it's possible, you should take advantage of your team build and the stage's environment. Now, let's watch the combo suggestion. This combo is mainly a suggestion for situations where you have an unbalanced team, such as Brahma at 2S rank and supports above her rank, or when you're facing a battle that you can't clear in less than 2 or 1 minute. The main strategy of this control over dodge, and as well adaptation, is to guarantee that when Brahma enters into destruction mode, you can receive the full buffs of your supports to guarantee the best amount of damage dealt against her enemies. The second most important topic is dealing with enemies' health bar. When I say this, it's my method to make a short reference to situations when you battle more than one enemy in a challenge stage. The reason is because Brahma has a lot of limitations, such as her hits being linked to full animations, not worth to try canceling her attacks, most of her damage behind her ult, and multiple others. Differently of other units, Brahma can't just start over her sequence. You need to keep this sequence constantly active. In order to help you, I did this small suggestion since it gave an extremely good result for users that I requested to try out. When you get more used, feel free to try adapt this suggestion even further. Before concluding this part, observe the synergy of Brahma's skills with each Aether Code to help you understand more her combo sequence. In teams, I did a few suggestions according what's the most common to use right now, especially if you're starting your account or if you already have S-Kali and how to switch up to Parvati. If you're a new player, avoid reconstruction of sigils for now until you get either Liang or Lin Yu. To make things short, the best team currently in my server for Wind Element is Brahma, Parvati, and Lin Yu. Despite me not recommending, you can try using units such as Liang and S-Hera, but I personally think that they would be better used in other teams. In case you want my opinions about Liang's module and a few other topics, I published over the posts of my channel. These suggestions are mostly for starts, or if you just want an easy build to use each team. Regardless of this, I highly recommend you to check out each specific guide made by me for each unit suggested. Soon, I'll be releasing Parvati's guide. My guides for Lin Yu and other units will take some time, but here's a few suggestions in which order to upgrade their skills. That's all for now, dear administrators. I hope to see you in the next guide. Until next time.